here. We've got the hot read. You've been teasing it on all show in different parts. So you've got 2 picks. Where are you going?
Yeah, let's start with one of the games we just talked recently about, Sunday Night Football. Give me the Bengals plus 2.5 in Los Angeles to face the Chargers. So look, we played the Bengals hot read last week. We got that win against the Ravens Thursday night. Couldn't quite get the money line win, but got the cover obviously there. The Chargers, I thought, were relatively even stats against the Titans. They did not necessarily super impress me with that game today, despite the final score. And the Bengals were much more impressive. They looked a lot better against the Ravens with their game. Cincinnati's defense still not great. I don't really know that the Chargers offense is a team that's built to punish them. The Bengals are going to score points. The Bengals are a good offense, and I think actually, we hear a lot about the Chargers defense. This defense has only faced 2 opponents so far this season that entered this weekend top 19 in offense by DVOA. That was the Chiefs and the Cardinals, and they lost both of those games at home, the Chargers did. They've not faced a top 10 passing offense yet. The Bengals are top 5 passing offense and probably get T. Higgins back and are playing an extra rest because they had that Thursday night game. So I love the spot for Cincinnati. They're 4-6, facing a 6-3 wild card opponent, basically. This is a huge chance for them to flip a game and flip the tiebreak over a team that they might be competing with for a playoff spot. Chargers up next. They're 6-3. They got Bengals, Ravens, Falcons, Chiefs. They look good right now, but that is a really easy path to 6-7. Has to start with the Bengals win here. Zach Taylor, 60% ATS against opponents better than 500. Joe Burrow, after week 5, facing a non-division opponent, 75% ATS. And then the one we love, Joe Burrow is an underdog. 2.5-point underdog or more. Burrow is 19-5 ATS, including the postseason for his career, 79%. He's won 10 of the last 16 outright. Now, I'll tell you this. I'm going to take just the Bengals plus 2.5. I don't need to lose part of my bet in the money line this week. The Bengals have lost twice by a point, and they've lost in overtime by 3. I'm just going to take the plus 2.5 just in case we get another one of those close losses. Taylor's shown he's going to be willing to go for that 2-point conversion or get the win if they need to. I wouldn't be surprised here. So just give me the Bengals plus 2.5. Should be a good Sunday night game next week.
Yeah, I like the rest. I was going to talk about T. Higgins, which you brought up as well. One question, though. Do you think you should, at the moment I see 2.5. It was about 1.5 a little while ago, up to 2. Should you wait on the 3? Do you think it's going to come back? What's your thought there?
Yeah, I noticed that. One book has 1.5, another has 2.5. It's tricky. On both of these bets here, I normally am betting on hot read and look ahead on favorites because typically money comes on the favorite and the line goes further that way. I'm on 2 underdogs today, and those are tricky because same thing with the next one. Will it go up a little bit? And it's at a key number here. To me, especially considering the Bengals have lost by 1 again, lost by 3 in overtime. 2 is not a key number. 3 is the key number. But the Bengals, it's been close that way. I don't mind waiting a little bit. I don't think you lose so much by losing the 2, and you gain more if you get the 3. But sure. I feel pretty good about the Bengals winning the game, so I don't mind grabbing the plus 2.5. It's also minus 105, so a little bit lighter on the juice there as well. So I'll play it right now. I understand if you want to wait on it, but I wouldn't be totally shocked if the Bengals take some money here also and end up even like favored by the time this kicks off. I'm not sure that they will. It's always hard to know on these close lines, but I just think Cincinnati is the better team, and the Chargers haven't faced an offense quite like this yet.
Cool. I agree. I like that Cincinnati line. All right. We got one more. You were saying dog. What do you got?
One more dog. It's rah-rah time. Rah-rah Mike Tomlin and the Steelers. Plus 3.5. Home against the Ravens. Now, look, I said earlier, I'm kind of looking for ways to fade Pittsburgh going forward. Baltimore just played the Bengals. They're off of extra rest. So the Ravens are on extra rest. I want to fade the Steelers. Doesn't matter. I'm playing this line in this matchup every single time. Couple matchup analysis things. The Ravens, obviously number 1 offense right now in the NFL, but Pittsburgh's defense, they know what they're doing. They just played Washington. I'm not saying Jaden Daniels is Lamar Jackson, but is a similar style quarterback and play 2 weeks in a row prepared against that is helpful. The weakest unit in this game is not a Pittsburgh unit. It is the Baltimore passing defense. And though I don't trust Pittsburgh's offense, What's the way that you move the ball on Baltimore? Long, explosive plays. The one thing that I do trust Pittsburgh to do, I think Russ can hit some of those moon balls, hit some explosives. Here's a couple crazy stats for you. Lamar Jackson, in his career, has 4 touchdowns against the Steelers. In his career, 6 seasons against a division rival, that's rushing and passing combined, 4 touchdowns. His only win against Pittsburgh came back in 2019. Lamar Jackson as a favorite of between 3 and 10 points, 15, 29, and 1 against the spread, 34%. But this is not about any of those things. This is about rah-rah Mike Tomlin. Tomlin against teams better than 500, 58%. John Harbaugh is division favorite, 42%. But the rah-rah Tomlin underdog spot, you're going to hear about it. This is a great spot for it. They just cashed today in a good spot. This one is even better. From week 5 forward, 48, 20, and 1 against the spread for Mike Tomlin, 71%. That goes up to 81% if they're home. It goes up to 81% if they're facing a division opponent here. And what about if they come off of a loss? Normally that's better. You like them coming off a big loss. It's the motivational spot. But if they cover in a rah-rah spot and then are anything worse than 3-point favorites the next week, they're 27-2 against the spread, 74%. So just all around, all the numbers line up. And then a stat I promise you're going to hear a lot of places this week. You always take the underdog in Tomlin versus Harbaugh. 23, 6, and 3 ATS, 79% on not a small sample. We got a lot of Tomlin Harbaugh games. That includes when there is an underdog of 3 or more points, 18, 2, and 3 against the spread for the underdog. 90% cover rate. So I don't know why the Steelers are going to cover here. I don't think these teams are even at all. It doesn't have to make sense. You just take the points in Ravens Steelers. Steelers plus 3.5 again, similar to the last one. Do you wait? Do you see if you can get to the 4? I would guess money comes in on the Ravens here, but I don't want to lose and get down to the 3. The line has been so important here, that 3-point underdog stat. And again, plus 3.5, there's a plus 100 juice out there as well. So I'm just going to play it right now. Steelers plus 3.5. Close my eyes and just let the trends do the work for me.
Yeah, the 3.5 is the right number. So I agree with that. I mean, even coming down to 3 at some spots. So grab the 3.5 while you can. These matchups are always close. The Steelers voodoo will come out like it always does. All right, we've got a pair of AFC North underdogs for our hot read. That is fun and good.